Getting started with Anaconda. Here in our tutorial, we have selected Anaconda to demonstrate how to write the code and how to execute that, how to install Anaconda on your system. So at first we are supposed to go to this respective website, and there we will be getting two download links, one for Python 3.6 version, another for Python 2.7 version. Here I have loaded my Anaconda on my Windows machine, on my Windows laptop. So that's why I clicked on this Python 3.6 version here. And here we are having two types. One is the 64-bit version, and the one is the 32-bit version. So I selected Python 3.6 version 64-bit. Then this particular screen will come, and then I shall have to click on the next. Then this license agreement will come. You can read this agreement, and then you are supposed to click on this I agree. Then you can have two options. One is the just for me, another one for all users. So I have selected just me. So now I shall click on this next. So next, this Anaconda, the version 3, Anaconda 3 version 5.1.0 64-bit setup will be initiated, and here I'm supposed to select the destination folder. So if you want to stick with the default folder, whatever it has been decided, so you can take this particular folder, otherwise you can go for browse and select another folder there, and then click on this next, and it is showing that what is the total size it requires. It requires 2.5 GB of space available. So now here we are having this add Anaconda to my path environment variable and registered Anaconda as my default Python 3.6 editor. So in this way I have selected this option. Also you can select this one also, and then we are supposed to click on this install. So now the Python is getting installed, so it will go percentage wise, this progress bar will be proceeding, and in this way the installation will be obtained. You can click on the show details so that you can get the idea what are the files in which destination folders are getting loaded, are getting installed. Then installation complete will be obtained, and here you see the full progress bar has been filled up. So installation has been completed. You can go for the show details, and then you can click on the next. After clicking on the next, you will be coming to this particular screen, and it will ask whether you are supposed to install the Visual Microsoft VS Code or not. If you require to install that one, you can install it. Otherwise, you can go for the skip. So here this is the final screenshot we have provided you. So now in this particular screenshot, it has been told that the Anaconda has been installed successfully, and it will be the default Python editor. And in this particular screen, it is just asking to click on the finish. You can also go for the go back, and then after finishing, the installation will get completed. So in the next videos, we'll be going for the Python program execution through this Anaconda 3 editor. So how to use that one, we'll be showing that one in the next videos, and we'll be running so many different programs and codes in our video in the next successive discussions. Thanks for watching this. In this video, we shall discuss overview of Python. What are the different features of Python is having? We know that Python is a high-level language and object-oriented language. It is very much expressible, and it is having a very easy syntax to write the code. So let us go for a detailed discussion on this overview of Python as it is coming next. Python coding can be done in three different ways. First one is the immediate mode, next one is the script mode, and the last one using some integrated development environment, that is IDE. So at first we are going to discuss how we can do the coding in Python in immediate mode. So here we are opening our command prompt, and we are going to the respective folder, that is our C:, users, this is the username, and Anaconda 3. How to install this Anaconda, we have discussed that one in our other video, that what are the steps we require to install this Anaconda. So for this one, we will be requiring this python.exe. So this python.exe, if you click, then this command prompt will open with this respective prompt, that is the triple greater than symbol. So here you can write the code in the immediate mode to run our scripts. You can find this one. So we are writing this one, print hello world. So in this way we can go for this. So A is equal to 100, B is equal to 200, C is equal to A plus B, and then you can go for print C. So it is getting printed as 300. So this is the mode which is known as the immediate mode. That means we can also do the same using our command prompt here. So here we are having our command prompt. So I'm going for this users and this or not, then I'll be going for this Anaconda 3. We can go for this Anaconda 3. Here we are having our Python, so we can go for this. So this is a python.exe is there. We can run it, and we are going to get the same screen whatever we had. So this is known as the immediate mode. So typing Python in the command line will invoke the interpreter in the immediate mode, and you can directly type in Python expressions and press enter to get the required output. And if the Python prompt, it will tell us that interpreter is ready for our input. So let me type some code here. So I'm going for this print, say 100 plus 200. You can easily find it is calculating and giving me the outcome. So this is our immediate mode. Now let me tell you that how to do the coding using the script mode. So for that purpose, we're just opening a notepad for the typing. So here I'm writing the code. There is a print. So we have typed this code here and we are saving this one. In the respective folder there is Anaconda 3 and giving the name as say prog1.py. Giving the name as prog1.py. So we are saving this one. So prog1.py is the file name. Now we are coming back to our, I'm getting back my prompt here. So let me check whether the file has got saved here or not. Yes, the file has got saved with the 41 bytes here. So now we can execute this code using Python. So Python will interpret this this program. So we're going for this Python prog1.py. You can see that the program is executing. So this is the mode known as the script mode, where we can type our code, and this mode will be used to execute the Python program written in a file, and then we're executing it using Python and the file name. You can get the output here. So this is the program we wrote. Okay, and there is a respective output we are getting. There is another way to type the code, and that is our integrated development environment. So for that purpose, we are just invoking this Anaconda. So Anaconda Navigator. This is Anaconda Navigator. Now here we are going for this Jupyter Lab. It will open it in a browser. So here we are having, so I shall go for this plus. So going for this Python 3. So you can find that this is our untitled.ipynb. So there is the extension. Here you can write the code. So print. You can execute it. Welcome to the world of programming. In this way, you can go on execution. So you see it has opened into our Chrome browser. So on the default browser, this notepad will get opened. There is a Jupyter Lab. So now we are going for this Jupyter Notebook. We tested with the Jupyter Lab. Now we are going for this Jupyter Notebook. So this is the respective folder structure it is telling. Now we are going for a new Python 3. So here also we can type. We can go for the execution. In this way, also using this Jupyter, we can also go for this typing. So we have tested with the Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook. So two ways we have done. Now let me go for the spider. So I'm using this part. So here you can see that the sessions are coming. So This is the way in which we are typing, and we can go for the execution. You can find that hello world and welcome is getting executed. So that is another way to execute the same. And now you can find that we can go for the run cell. So only this particular line I'm just going for this, and then I'm going for the run cell. You see only the hello world has got executed. So only this welcome has got executed. In this way also you can go for partial execution. Let us suppose we are having variables, say a is equal to 100 and say b is equal to 200. Now we are going for say c is equal to a plus b, and then we are going for this value of c is going to get printed. So the sum of and is, so that is another way to type format. We shall be discussing all these things into details. If we go on executing, we can find that so the sum of 100 and 200 is 300. We're having the variable explorer here. You can see the value of a and b and c will be displayed. You can find that the value of a and b and c are getting displayed. So I'm just making this one as 600, making this one as 500. So now if I go on executing, you can find that the values have got updated. So this is another advantage of this. There is a spider. Also here also you can have the line by line execution. As I told you that if I mark this and if you go for run cell, you are getting only these two lines are getting executed. So that is another fantastic way to execute this Python program. So as we discussed that Python is nothing but one cross-platform programming language, and it executes in Windows, Mac OS, Linux and Unix, and also it can be executed ported to the Java and .NET virtual machines. And nowadays Python is available in some Unix and in Mac pre-installed, but in that case obviously the versions might be the older one, so it is our better choice to install it, the latest version, and explore it according to our requirement. We can explore that one. And now let me discuss some of the different features of this Python. Python is an object-oriented language, which means that it can model real-world objects, and it is also dynamically typed because it carries out type checking at the runtime. So dynamically typing means during the runtime the variables data type will be decided here. The name Python came by Guido van Rossum, and it came after the committee group, that is the Monty Python, and from there this name Python came here. If you consider C Python, then in case of C Python architecture, we are having parser, which uses the source code to generate an abstract syntax tree. We are having compiler, which turns the abstract syntax tree into Python bytecode. We are having interpreter, which will be executing the code line by line, and we are also having the respective three components. So that is our parser, compiler and interpreter. So parser will convert the source code to the, as I told you, that is the abstract syntax tree. Compiler will convert this abstract syntax tree into the bytecode format, and then the interpreter will come, which will execute this code line by line. Python is having multiple different components. There is the functions, classes, modules, packages and so on. We know that functions is nothing but a collection of statements named into one. Classes are nothing but, in case of object-oriented programming, so it supports the classes and the objects. A Python module is a collection of related classes and the functions. We're having the packages, so package is a collection of related modules, and we'll be using multiple different packages in our current tutorial on Python here. If you consider the features of Python, the Python is very easy. That means very easy to learn and understand. It is interpreted, so it is interpreted, executed line by line. So this makes it easy to test and debug. If you consider the respective object oriented, it supports the classes and objects. It is free and open source, so that is another advantage for making the Python so popular. So that is the language, and its source code are available to the public for free. No need to buy a costly license. It is portable, that means we can run Python on Windows, Mac, Linux and other platforms as I discussed. Python supports the GUI programming. That means we can develop a GUI interface for our users, and it is having a large library. That is one of the very important feature of Python. That is, the Python provides us with a large standard library, and you can use them to implement a variety of functions. And multiple different frameworks are available in Python. We're having, they say, web2py, we're having numpy, we're having pyramid, we're having scipy, we're having django. So many different frameworks are available, and these frameworks are required to develop our softwares in multiple different applications for multiple different case studies. So that's why Python is so useful. And the common extension for Python file will be .py. So there is a common extension which we had in our notepad. We know that in our notepad we had that extension, that is a prog1.py. So it is a normal extension for a Python source file. We're having other extensions, that is pyc, that is a compiled bytecode. We're having pyd, that is a Windows DLL file. We're having pyo, that is a file created with optimizations. pyw, there is a Python script for Windows. pyz, there is a Python script archive. So now the last question I want to discuss, that why should we learn Python? Because using Python we can go for developing a website, develop a game, perform computer vision, do the machine learning, because in our machine learning we're having this Python and the R programming languages, and Python is one of the most popular language in our machine learning and artificial intelligence domain. Enable robotics, perform web scraping, we're having perform data analysis, automate a web browser, performing scripting, perform scientific computations, build the artificial intelligence oriented applications, and so on. So that's why Python is becoming so useful, and we are having multiple different constructs in Python, like our list, we are having tuples, we are having dictionaries, we are having comments and document string, and we are having series, we are having the sets, we are having sequences, and so on. So many things, and we will be covering all these different aspects of Python in our tutorial. So please go through all the videos in the sequence in which they are appearing in the tutorial. And this is our overview on Python. Thanks for watching this video. Python variables and constants. In this session, we are discussing and demonstrating how to define constants and variables. So constants in Python can be defined. It is our common practice to write all the constant name all in the capital letters. So pi is equal to 3.14, gravity is equal to 9.8. In this way, the constants can be defined in our Python. And now we are going to define that how the variables can be defined, and how to declare variable, how to assign values on them. So a is equal to apple. So now a is a variable, as the apple is of the type text or string, so a will be of the type string here. So print a, so a will get printed. So now let me go for the execution. This line has got no print, so that's why the no outcome is there. So let me go for the print. If you go for this print pi, we are getting this one as 3.14. Now for this part, if I go for the execution, it will come like this. So a is equal to apple, so print a, so it is printing apple here. Changing the value of a variable, so that can be done using reassignment. So a is equal to aeroplane. So now if you type this one and then print a, it is printing the respective string. So next time I'm printing, I'm just assigning 100 to a. So now if we print a, then it is getting the value 100. So you can find that the same variable sometimes may be initialized with the string, sometimes with the integer, and that is allowed in Python, because in case of Python is a dynamic type language. That means the variable's data type will be decided during the runtime. So during the runtime, whatever the value the variable is containing, that will decide the data type of the variable. And in case of Python, there is no need to declare the variable separately at the beginning of the code. We can define variable as when we require to use them. And he can find that here this a is equal to aeroplane. So that means the a has got the data type string, and the next part of the code, the a will be treated as a string until and unless it is getting initialized with some other data type value. So here we have written a is equal to 100. So in the next part of the code, a will be treated as of the type integer
until and unless a is getting initialized with some other type of values. Assigning multiple values to a variable. So b, c, d, all these three variables are getting assigned with this 1, 2.5 and hello respectively in a same single line. So this 1 will be assigned to b, 2.5 will be assigned to c, and hello will be assigned to d. So when you are printing b, c and d, we are getting the outcome as 1, 2.5 and hello. Next one is that assigning the same value to multiple variables using a same statement in the same line, So b is equal to c is equal to d is equal to 5. That means the 5 is getting assigned to b, c and d both at the same time in a single statement, single assignment statement. So 555 is going to get printed here. So in this example and demonstration, we have discussed that how to define constants and how to define variables and how to assign values on them. Thanks for watching this video.
Python class and objects.
In this example of class and objects, we are defining one class. The name of the class is myComplexNumber. And here we are defining one constructor. We know that constructor method will have the name as underscore underscore init underscore underscore in case of Python, irrespective of the name of the class. So it is having two input parameters. One is the real, another one is the image, and apart from this self. Self is actually denoting the reference of the object. Also it is known as the these reference. So here we are defining, here we are initializing two instance variable. One is the real part, another one is the image part with this real and image here. And display complex will print the value of real part and image part accordingly. So this is our myComplexNumber. I'm executing this one. So my class has got defined. Now we are defining one object against the class myComplexNumber. So the name of the object is complex1. So is equal to myComplexNumber 40 and 50. So this 40 will be the real part and this 50 will be assigned to the image part here. So this particular class myComplexNumber is having two instance variable, that is a real part and image part. So now let us go for the printing. So complex1 dot display complex, so it will print the respective 40 and 50 as the image part, real part and image part respectively. So here is the outcome. So myComplexNumber constructor executing. So this particular statement, this particular string has got printed from this print function, and then we are having this initialization, and then we are having this display complex. So this particular line has got printed. We're defining another object under the class myComplexNumber, and here we are passing this 60 and 40 for real part and image part here. So we are also defining a new attribute, that is the name of the attribute is new attribute. So another instance variable we are going to define here, and also initializing with the value 80. So this new attribute will be defined and will be related only with this complex2 object. And then we are printing this complex2 real part, complex2 image part and complex2 new attribute. So here is the outcome, here is the output we are obtaining. So myComplexNumber constructor executing when you are defining this new object, that is our complex2. And now we are going for this printing, that is a real part, image part and new attribute. We can also call this method, that is a complex2 display complex. So now you can find that it is printing 60 plus 70j, and here we are printing all the three instance variables, that is a real part, image part and new attribute. This complex1 object which we defined earlier does not have this attribute new attribute, and so if I want to print this one as complex1.new attribute, then obviously it will show one error message, that is myComplexNumber object has no attribute new attribute. So that's why it is printing that one, because this new attribute we defined only with this complex2 object. Now how to delete? So now you see, just we are printing this complex1 again. So it is printing that this is a respective complex1. When you are printing this object, this outcome is coming. But when you were defined that real part, this real part, that instance variable, we can individually delete that one. So deleting object attributes. So that's why in that case I shall have to write del complex1, there is a object name dot real part. And if I want to delete the whole object, then also we can use this del and complex1. So now as it has got deleted, the real part has got deleted, the complex one object itself has got deleted. So if I want to print this complex one now, then it will tell me that name error is there and name complex one is not defined. So in this example, we have given you the idea that how to define one class, how to define its instance variable and the methods, and how to define the objects under that class and many other features. Thanks for watching this video.
In this video, we are discussing Python arrays implementation.
Arrays are fundamental part of most programming languages, and it is the collection of elements of a single data type. And as example, we can consider array of elements like string, array of integers, array of float, and so on. However, in Python, there is no native array data structure. So you use Python list instead of an array. But if I want to create a real arrays in our Python, we need to use the numpy's array. That is the data structure we are having in our numpy module. So for mathematical problems, numpy array will be more efficient. So unlike arrays, a single list can store elements of any data types and does everything an array does. So we can store an integer, a float, and a string instead of inside the same list. So it is more flexible to work with. So let us go for the descriptions and the detailing about this array handling. And at first we are going to discuss how to create one array in our Python. So here we have defined one array. So definition and declaring an array. So these are the set of elements it is having, and print ARR. So it will produce the output like this one. So now if I want to access our array elements, we can use the index. The first element will have the index 0. So ARR 0 will print 10, ARR 1 will print 20 here. So ARR 2 will print 30 here. And here we are having this ARR minus 1. That means the last element will be printed. That is our 50. We are having this ARR minus 2. So that is minus 1. This is my minus 2. So 40 will get printed. So here we are using negative indexing. So now let us go for another array here. So here all these members, all these array elements are of the type string. So if we print these brands, we are getting the output like this one. So finding the length of the array, we are having the method, that is the inbuilt method, that is our len here. So len brands, so it will print, it will return 5 here because we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So if you print a number of brands, we are getting here 5 as output. We can also add some element using the method append. So brands.append intel. So if you go on printing brands, I'm getting this intel as the last element which has got appended to the existing array, that is our brands. So now how to remove elements from an array. So to remove elements, we are having the method like remove, we are having the method like pop. So here we can find that we are having this colors, it is defined there. So let me print the colors here. So going for print colors. Okay. So now if I print these colors, this particular array, we are getting the outcome like this one. So that is the colors I have printed. So now if you go for this del color 4, if you go for this del color 4, then after removing this del color 4, if I print, then the outcome will be this one. So that is the color 4 means we are having this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So yellow will get deleted because here we have mentioned the index as 4. So now we are having this colors.remove blue. So here I'm just mentioning directly the respective data items. So here we are mentioning directly the data items. So that is our blue. So blue is the member of this particular array. So blue is going to get deleted. So you can find that the blue has got deleted here. So now we are having this colors pop 3. So now here we are mentioning the radically the index we are mentioning. So you can find here that is 0, 1, 2, 3. So orange will get deleted, and in this way I'm getting the reduced number of elements of this array getting printed using print colors. So in this way we can remove items from an array. So now we are going for this modifying elements of an array using indexing. So fruits, apple, banana, mango, grapes, and orange. We are having this one. So fruits 1. So I'm just assigning pineapple to that. Now what is the outcome? So let me go for the print. So now let me go for the execution. You can find that at first this particular array has got printed. Now fruits 1 means 0, 1. So banana will be replaced by pineapple, so it has got replaced. Now fruits -1 means the orange, the last one, will get replaced by this guava. So we are getting the updated content of this array fruits. So now we are going for the concatenation of two arrays using the plus operator. So concat is equal to 1 2 3 and then concat plus 4 5 6. So now we are going to print concat. So now let me go for the printing here also. So if I go on executing, we can find that at first we are having this 1 2 3 and then after concatenation I'm getting this 1 2 3. Why? Because I didn't assign this concat. I didn't assign this concatenated items into the array variable. So now let us write this one. So let me do some changes here. So now if I execute, I can find that. So now this concat has got updated by concat plus 4 5 6. So this plus is actually denoting the operator to do the concatenation between two arrays. So now when you are printing this concatenated array, we are getting this 1 2 3 4 5 6. So now we are going for the repeating elements in an array. So let us go for this repeat A, and then repeat is equal to repeat star 5 and then print repeat. So now what is the outcome? We can go for this print. So just executing the same. So at first A is there, and next time repeat is equal to repeat star 5. So this A has got repeated for 5 times. Okay. So now we are having this fruits. So we are having the set of elements are there. So if I go on executing this, so at first we are getting these fruits, this particular array has got printed. Now print fruits 1:4. Always remember the starting index will be inclusive and the ending index will be always exclusive. So that is the index number 0. Index number 1 is this one. So 1 2 3. So I'm expecting banana, mango and grapes should get printed. Yes, they have got printed accordingly. Here the starting index is missing, so it will be considered as 0. So from apple, so 3 means it will proceed up to the index number 2 because 3 will be exclusive. So 0 1 2. So apple, banana and mango should get extracted and should get printed. Apple, banana, mango have got printed. So now it will start from this -4. It will start from this -4. So -1, -2, -3, and here we are having this -4, and the ending index has not been mentioned, so it will go printing up to the last element. So banana, mango, grapes and orange, they have got printed. So here we are having this -3 to -1. So -1, -2, -3, I'm getting here mango, and -1 will be always exclusive because it is the stop index. So that's why it will print up to -2, that is our grapes. So in this way we can have the slicing of an array. Okay, so now we are going for the next one. So here we are going to have our multi-dimensional array. So in case of multi-dimensional array, you can find that we are defining one array. So here the first element is another array that is consisting of 1 and 2. The second element is also another array consisting of 3 and 4 and so on. So if you go and print this multi-dimensional array, you are getting the outcome like this. But if you print this multi-dimensional 0, that means this 1 2, this array will get printed accordingly. 3 means 0 1 2 3. So the 7 and 8 will get printed. So multi-dimensional array 2, 1. So 2 and 1, they are enclosed within the square brackets individually. So 2 means 0 1 2. So 2 means this one, and 1 means 0 1. So 6 will get printed. Similarly for 3, 0. So in case of 3 and 0, they are individually enclosed within the square brackets. So 0 1 2 3, that means this particular element and its 0th one. So 7 will get printed here. So in this way we have shown you that how to handle arrays in our Python programming with demonstration and example. Thanks for watching this video.
Here in this video, we are going to discuss Python keywords and identifiers.
Python is having multiple different keywords. Here in this demonstration, we shall discuss some of them. The first keyword we are going to discuss, that is true and false. Remember, true is starting with the capital letter T, and rest of the letters will be in the lowercase, and in case of false also the same uppercase and lowercase syntax will be maintained. So here we are having a 5 equal to 5 and 5 greater than 5. You can find that we're getting the outcome as true and false. So here the true and false are nothing but the keywords in Python. We're going to have the next one, that is our none. So none is equal to 0. Now let me go for the outcome. So it is producing the output is true, that is none is not 0, none is not equal to false, none is not like an empty list, and none is equal to none. It is returning me the true. Now what is the use of none actually? So let me go for this. Here we have defined one function. The name of the function is a void function. Because it is void, why? Because it does not return any value. So now if we the return, if we assign to x and if we then print x, then obviously we shall get the none as the outcome. You can find that we are getting none. But here if the function returns, then you can find that it is returning the value c. Value of c is equal to 3 here, and 3 is getting printed. But if we just make this line omit it, if we just omit this line, you are getting the outcome as none, because the function returns none. Next one is the and, or, and not. So true and true, true and true, outcome will be true and true, outcome will be true and false rather, outcome will be false. True or false, the outcome will be true, and not a false, the outcome will be true here. So in this way you can go for other combinations. So let me write some other combinations here. So let us suppose I'm going for true and true. I'm going for true false. So here we're having this true or true, and if you go for the true here, so now let me check what is the outcome we are going to get. So true and true is true, true or true is true, and not of true is false here. So that is another way to get the outcome, and here we discuss that is the and, or, and not keywords. Now we are going to have this as. So import math as my math. So here we are having this alias of this module math. So here the keyword as has been used, and in the rest of the code we'll be using my math, not the math here, because the math has got, this module has got renamed to my math in this application. So mymath.cos, mymath.py. In this way you can go for the output. Next one is the assert. After assert you usually write one boolean statement. So 5 greater than 5, it is producing assertion error. So that's why it is some assert error is taking place. But if I write 5 greater than 4, so after assert always we should write some expression which will return some boolean output, that is a true and false. So some condition has to be written after this assert, after assert. So now here you can find that no outcome is obtained because both the conditions are true here. Next we are going for the break. Next keyword is break. So in this break what is happening, you can find that for I in range 1, 11. So that means I will have the value ranging from 1 to 10, because this one, that is the lower limit, will be inclusive and the upper limit will be always exclusive. So that's why we are having this I which will be ranging from 1 to 10 actually if you use range 1, 11. So if I is equal to 5, then break, that means it will come out from the loop. That means it will terminate the loop and it will come out from the loop. So what will happen? So the outcome is print I. So I will be printed for 1, 2, 3 and 4. But here when the I is equal to 5, then break statement will be executed. So print I will remain unreachable, will remain unreached and unexecuted. So as a result of that, up to 1, 2, 3, 4 will get printed. So break will actually terminate the loop and it will come out from the loop here. Next we are going for the continue. In case of continue, you can find that for I in range 1, 8, that means I will be ranging from 1 to 7. So if I is equal to 5, so when the value of I will be 5, then continue, that means the next part will remain unexecuted, unreachable, and continue means it will continue with the loop with the next value of I. So what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4 will get printed. For 5, the continue will take place, so the control will be going back to the for statement again. So next time 6 and 7 will get printed, so 5 will be missing in the output. Next we are going for the class. So let us suppose here we are having one class, that is the example class. A class will be containing multiple variables and multiple member variables and member functions, also known as messages and methods respectively. Here we have defined two methods. There is a def function 1 parameters, we shall be passing parameters, and then print function 1, that is executing. Def function 2 parameters, so print function 2 is executing. So now we are creating one object under this class, there is an example. So here class is the keyword to define a class, and here the object has been defined under the class example class here. So ob1.function1 and ob2.function2 will be called here. So now if I go for the execution, I can find that function 1 executing, function 2 executing, they are getting printed. So in this way the class can be defined using the keyword class. In this way the class declaration will take place. Next one, we are having this def. So def will be used. Def stands for define. So def will be used whenever we are going to define one user defined function. So def, then function name will be coming, then parameters, and then let us suppose we are having this pass. Pass is nothing but one placeholder. So if we execute pass, then actually no outcome will be obtained, no output will be obtained. Pass is actually required in those cases where we are supposed to enter or include some more codes to add some more functionality to the application. So that is the use of the pass actually. So def is a keyword with the help of which we are defining one function, and then you can call the function as well. So now you can see this particular function we are calling. So there is one argument it is requiring, there is a parameter. So now let me go for the parameters here. So I'm passing say 10 here. So there will be no error, but obviously there will be no outcome because pass does not produce any output here. Next we are going for the del. So this particular del, you see a is equal to 10, print a. So the value of a has got printed as 10. Del a, that means this a, this variable will get deleted from the computer's memory. So next time if I go for printing this a, then one error will be raised, and that error is known as name error, because the variable does not exist and is written as the message that name a is not defined here, because after deleting the variable a will be deallocated from the memory. So next time if you go for print a, it will tell you, it will raise the name error here. We're having this if, elif and else. Num is equal to 2. If num is equal to 1, then print 1. Elif, elif means actually else if, but here in case of Python we'll be writing it as elif, E-L-I-F. Always remember, after if and after elif we'll be writing one condition. This is the condition we are writing. After the condition there will be one colon. This colon will indicate that we are starting with a block under this true part of this if statement. So under this true part we have kept only one statement, that is a print 1. So it is having one indentation. Indentation means 4 blank spaces. You can find that we are having 4 blank spaces here. So that will indicate that this line is having the first statement with the indentation, and then we'll be writing this elif with the outer dent. With the outdent you can find that the same indentation will be maintained for if and elif. They'll be starting from the same column. And num is equal to 2, it will check whether the value of num is equal to 2 or not. Then one colon. So whenever you give colon and press enter, automatically the cursor will be blinking with the new indent. So that is a print 2, and else we are having something else. So there is a if, elif and else block. Elif and else, they are optional. If is mandatory if we write any conditional block. So elif can occur for multiple number of times also. We can have multiple elif. So let me go for the execution. You can find that it is printing 2. If I make it 1, it is printing 1. If I make it 3, it is printing something else, because the num is equal to 1 is not getting true. Num is equal to 2 is not getting true. So it is coming to the else part. Now let us suppose I'm putting another check, that means another elif. So now in this way what will happen, it is printing 3, but if I make this one 4, then it will be going for the else part. So I think now you are getting this idea what is if, elif and else block. Next we are going for this try, raise, catch and finally. So these are the very important keywords. So under the try, we'll be writing so many statements. We can write a block where we are expecting some errors may be raised. So errors may be raised during the calculations or computations. Otherwise, we can also raise our error if I require to do so. Here one error we have raised, that is a 0 division error. So after this, except this 0 division error has been mentioned, so you are going to handle the erroneous condition here. So then there's a respective remedial body, and then finally is that very portion, that is a block under the finally will be executed even if the any error is occurring, or if there is no error, then also the final block will get executed. So let me go for the execution. So division cannot be performed because here the raise day 0 division error has been raised here. So but you see the final block is getting executed, execution successfully. So now if we make this one under comment, then we can find that the execution successfully, this particular statement is getting executed. That means the finally block will get the control always, irrespective of the fact whether any error has been raised or not. We'll be discussing all these aspects in our respective chapters for more detailing. Let us go for the for. So this for is a keyword. So for I in range 1, 10. So here this value of I will be ranging from 1 to 9. As I told you that the ending limits, the stop value will be exclusive. So here the value of I will be ranging from 1 to 9. As we didn't mention any step value, so by default the step value will be 1. So that's why this value of I will be increased by 1 by 1. So 1, 10, that means 1, 2, 3 up to the value of I will be ranging up to 9. So let me go for the print. You can find that in this way the for is getting executed. Using this for, we can go for the iterations and looping. Next we are going for this from and import, another two very important pair of keywords. So import math, that means we are importing one module. The name of the module is math, and from math we are importing this cause. So later we can use this cause as when required, but there in that case we need not to apply. So I'm just writing this one. Go for this print, go for cause, say I'm going for say 10 here. So if you go on printing, you can find that it is printing a value. So here I need not to write math.cause. I need not to write because we have written from math import cause here. So I can use this cause method according to the syntax as I have shown. Next we are having the next keyword, that is a global. So here we have defined one variable, that is a global var. There is a read one which will print the value of this global var. There is a write one. Here we are mentioning the global var as a variable with the keyword global. So now this global var is getting updated. Now using the write to, we are also changing this global var with 15. But here you can find that this global var, this particular statement is missing. So this now what will going to happen? So let me go for the execution. See, at first we have called this read one function. So read one will print the global var value, and that is 10. So 10 has got printed. Now it has called the write one function. So write one function will define this global var as a variable here within this write, and this global keyword is actually indicating that this global var is not a new variable, but the same variable which is there as a global variable. So we are doing the update onto that. So next one is the read one function is getting executed. So when you are printing this global var, we are not getting this 10, but we are getting this updated value, that is 5 here. In case of now, we are calling this write to. In case of write to, you see the global var, that statement is missing. We're writing this global var 15. So what is happening? This global var might be having the same name as that of the global variable, but as we didn't write global var here, so that's why this global var is working as a local variable within the write to method. So now whatever the updates we're doing, that scope is confined within this write to method. So this global var, when it will get printed, I'm going to print the 5 again, not 15 here, because we are going for the read one at the last. So in this way you can see that in this code how the global keyword has been used. We're having this in. So in actually used for the membership. So here we have defined one list. The list will be enclosed within the square brackets in our Python. So 4 in A. So now it is checking whether 4 is a member of this list or not. So it is producing the output true. But if you write the same, say print, say 44 in A, then obviously it will produce outcome as false here. So that is our in, and also you can go for the not in. You can also go for the not in. You can find that. So 4 not in A is false and 44 not in A is true. Next one we are going for this is. So print true is true. So is a keyword. So its outcome is true here. To define anonymous functions, that is user defined functions, but no name, without any name, we're using the keyword lambda. Whenever we define user defined function with a name, we are using the keyword def. Def stands for define. But in case of anonymous function, anonymous method, the keyword will be lambda. So here you see lambda. So the function has got no name. It will take this x as input argument and it returns it does a calculation that is x star 2. So that is 2 times it will multiply this value of x, and that will be assigned to a. So for I in range 1 comma 6, so that means I will be ranging from 1 to 5, and it is printing ai, that means this I will be passed. That means at first the value of I will be 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and this I will be passed to this method, and it is returning the 2 into x. So 2 into y will be returned. So I'm going to get, instead of 1 I shall be getting 2. When the value of I will be 2, I shall be getting 4. When the value of I will be 5, I shall be getting 10 here. So I can also print the value of I for the better understanding. Next we are going for the non-local. So this is the outer function. We are having this variable a is equal to 5. This is the inner function. Here we have defined this one as non-local a, and now we are just updating the value of a, and from the inner function we are printing the value of a. From the outer function, inner function has been defined, so now we can call the inner function, and then from the outer function scope we are printing the outer function a. So now we are calling this outer function using this statement. So we can find that inner function has got assigned 10 to a because a is non-local a. That means this a is non-local. That means the a is not local within this inner function. That means we are using this a, and whenever we are doing some update and whenever we are printing this one, I'm getting here 10, and from the outer function also if you print this a, I shall be getting 10 back here. So here we are discussing the keyword that is a non-local. We're having the keyword that is a pass, which I've discussed already. So pass will have no outcome. You can see that I run that code, but no outcome has been obtained because pass is actually working as a placeholder. So in future under this function, if I want to add more functionalities, if I want to add more codes and statements, in that case I can replace pass, because pass is nothing but one placeholder. Later for new code insertion I can replace pass with the new set of codes. So that's why you see it is producing no outcome. So let me call the function also. So I'm passing this 10. You see it is producing no outcome here. Next we are having this return. Return is another very important keyword. So a is equal to 10 within this function. The body is a is equal to 10 and return a. So now whenever we are calling this function, the function will return the value of a, that is 10, and we are printing that value here. So now let me go for the execution. I'm getting 10 here. So now we are having this while. So in the case of while I is equal to 5, I greater than 0, print I, and I is equal to I minus 1. So I've written this one as I minus equal to 1. So value of I will go on printing, and this process will be continued when the value of I will be greater than 0. So if I execute my code, I'll be getting the output for I is equal to 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Okay, the next keyword is with. So with open example.txt w as my file. So now what will happen? This example.txt will be opened in the write mode, and here we are using the keyword with, and to that particular file pointer, to this particular file reference, where you calling this write method, and this particular string will get printed onto the example.txt. So now if I go for execution, you can find that the example.txt. So let me go for the checking. Example.txt has been created just a second's ago, and you can find that its body is having only one string, that is the hello world, which we printed here. So in this way, using this with keyword, we can open a file either in the read mode or in the write mode or in the append mode, and we are having a separate section where you have discussed that what are the different modes are possible and operations are possible on our data files. So this is the use of the with keyword. We're having the yield. That is another very important keyword in our generator. So def generator, we have defined one method. The name of the method is generator, and for I in range 6, that means here this value of I will be ranging from 0 to 5. 6 means the value will be ranging from 0 to 5. And here we are not returning anything. You see, in case of generator function, we don't have the return statement. We usually have the yield statement. Yield will go on accumulating all the calculated values. So what is the value here? I star I. I will be ranging from 0 to 5. So I'm going for the square of that I. So it will be having the value 0, 1, 4, 9, 16 and 5 square, that is 25. So now yield will return one iterator. So now generator, the outcome will be obtained in G, and then for I in G I shall go on printing the value of I, and the respective outcome will be obtained here. So instead of having the return, in case of generator functions, we'll be having the keyword yield, which will go on accumulating all the calculated values, and later from this iterator we can, using the for loop, we can pick up each and every element at a time in one loop, in one iteration, and go on doing the computations. But here we have just printed the value of I here. So in this particular example, we have discussed multiple different keywords. You can see there are so many different keywords we have defined. Other than this, other keywords are also available, but these are the most usable and frequently used keywords in our Python code, and on them we have written small example codes, and we have explained that one with the required outputs. Thanks for watching this video.
Python tuples. So under the chapter Python data types, we are going to define another new data type that is known as tuple objects.
In Python programming, a tuple is very much similar to a list. The difference between the two is that we cannot change the elements of a tuple once it is assigned, whereas in a list the elements can be changed. That means list is mutable and tuple is immutable. And another difference here is that in case of list, we shall enclose our elements using third brackets opening and closing, but in case of tuple, we'll be enclosing them using the first bracket opening and the first bracket closing. So that is another difference we are observing here. So now let us discuss what are the advantages of tuple over list. Since tuples are quite similar to list, so both of them can be used in similar situations as well. And however, there are certain advantages of implementing a tuple over a list. So we can consider the first advantage as that we can generally use tuple for heterogeneous different data types and list for homogeneous, that is of the similar data types. But in the previous video also we have shown you that list can take multiple different data type data, but it is our common practice that wherever we'll be using variables of the different data types to be put in one structure, then in that case we will be using the tuple. But in case of list, we'll be going for the homogeneous data types. Since tuples are immutable, so iterating through the tuple will be faster to some extent compared to that of the list. So here we are getting some slight performance boosting. So tuples can contain immutable items, elements, and can be used as a key for a dictionary. So as the tuple elements are immutable, so it can contain the dictionary keys, and which is not possible in case of list as it is mutable. And if we have our data which we do not want to change anymore, so we should implement it using tuple, because in the tuple we'll be keeping our data in a write protected format. So here we are having one tuple we have created, and that is the empty tuple. So tuple 1, so it is empty tuple. If we print, we are getting the output like this. So now we are having this tuple we got initialized with this tuple 2 with some integer data will be there, elements will be there in the tuple, so it has got printed like this. Here we are having the heterogeneous one, that it may be the employee ID, it may be the respective employee name, this is the employee's salary, and the department in which he or she is working. So that is the department is there. So in this case, if we print the tuple 3, we're getting the outcome like this. Now creation of nested tuples. Now we'll be going for the creation of nested tuples. You can find that this is a string, but this is a list, and this is another tuple here. So one list has become the element of the tuple, and another tuple may be the element of another tuple. So print tuple 4, if you go on printing, we're getting the output like this. So we know that lists will be enclosed within square brackets and tuples will be enclosed within first brackets. So that's why it is a tuple and it is a list. So tuple can be created without any parenthesis. So now you can write this one, you can find that the tuples we are going to create here, we haven't enclosed them within the first brackets, but the tuple has got created and it has got printed. Tuple unpacking is also possible. You know that in case of tuple 5 we are having 1, 2, 3, 4 such data items. So now we are going to assign them to employee ID, employee name, employee salary and employee department. So we can go on printing them. I'm getting this employee ID, employee name, employee salary and also the employee department. So the type of this tuple 5 will be the class tuple. So in this way we can have our list or a tuple as the members of another tuple. Now we are going to access our tuple elements. So how to do that one? You see here we are defining one tuple with this welcome characters and then print tuple 1, we're getting this outcome like this. So now tuple 1, so this is my index value. So you know that index will be starting from 0. So index 1 is this one, so it is having the value E. So if I print that one, I'm getting E here. Similarly for here for tuple 1, 3, so 0, 1, 2, 3, so C will get printed. And here we are printing this 5, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so M has got printed here. So now in the next case, we are having this nest tuple 2, we are having this point and there is one list and another tuple is there. So if you go on printing this nest tuple 2, we are getting it printed. Now from the 0th element, you are picking up the third character. So from the 0th element means the 0th index means this one. And from the third character means we are having this one P at 0th place. So this index is 1, this index is 2, this index is 3. So N will be printed and N has got printed accordingly. And for the next tuple 2, 1, 2. So that means we are considering this item number 1, index number 1 is there. And then 2 means this particular 1 is at index 0, this 2, 3 is at index 1 and 4 is at index 2 here. So that's why 4 has got printed here. So 4 has got printed. Next one is our tuple 2, 2, 2. So that means we are considering the second element and the second data. So what is the value here? So value is 9 here. So here the value is 9. So I'm getting here 9. So in this way you can access elements from a tuple here. So let us go for the next example. Now slicing tuple contents. So at first we have defined one tuple which is containing all the characters of the string welcome. So here we are going for the slicing. So index number 1 to 3. So 1:3 means 1 to 3, but 3 will be always exclusive. The terminating index, that is up to which the index we are mentioning, that is a stopping index, will be always exclusive. So here you can pick up the characters from the index 1 and 2. So index 1 is E and index 2 is L. So accordingly the values will be picked up. So here you see we haven't mentioned the starting index, but the ending index will be -3. So this is my -1, -2, -3. So this is my -3. So what will happen? So always remember the ending index, terminating index is always exclusive. So it will print all the members from index number 0 to up to C here. So that's why we are having this one as WELC. So they have got printed. Now starting from the index number 3, I haven't mentioned any terminating index here. So index number 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. So from here it will print up to the last element. So that's why the outcome has come like this. Here you see where we haven't mentioned any kind of starting and stopping index values. So that's why the full tuple will get printed here. So that is our tuple 1. So print tuple 1, 1:3 will produce the output like this. Then :-3 will produce output this one, because we are not mentioning the starting index. So it will start from the very start and then it will proceed up to -4. So this is my -1, -2, -3 and up to -4. This WELC will get printed and it has got printed. Similarly, I have explained the other cases. Now we are going for this tuple elements which are immutable. So as a result of that, after creating this particular tuple, so if you print the tuple, it will produce output like this. But if you go on updating its content, so it will produce one error message. You can find that there is a type error. So tuple object does not support item assignment. So that's why it is producing one error, and the name of the error is type error here. Okay. So now tuple can be reassigned, but you can assign a new tuple to this same tuple 1 variable. So we are having this print tuple1. So this tuple1 object has got initialized with the new tuple. So that is not causing any problem, but item update is not there, is not allowed, because it is our immutable. So that's why if you go on printing now, you see the new tuple has got assigned to the tuple1 object. Next one is the concatenation of the tuples. So here you see we are printing this tuple2 and tuple3. So now we are going for this concatenation using plus. So you see tuple1 content and then tuple2 content, they have got concatenated in the same tuple. So now here you see we are having this particular tuple, and this tuple will I'm just multiplying it by 4. That means 4 times this again will be there, this particular string again will be there, and that will produce one tuple. So there is a syntax of writing. Deletion operation on a tuple. So here we are having one tuple here. So if you go for delete tuple2, then obviously it will produce some error operation. Why? Because you know that the tuple is immutable. So now what will happen if I uncheck this one? If I go on uncheck, so the error will be obtained is type error, and that is tuple object does not support item deletion. So that is the message is getting printed. So that's why I'm putting this one under comment here. So but we can delete the entire tuple. So del tuple4, so that whole tuple4 will get eliminated, will get deleted. So in that case, if we print this tuple4, it will print the name error, and name tuple4 is not defined is the message. So now we are having some tuple methods. We are having some tuple methods. So tuple5, we are having this respective all the characters of welcome, and tuple5.count e. So it will count that how many times this e is occurring here. So I'm getting this one as 2 because e has occurred 2 times in this tuple. So in the tuple members. So now it is going for the index C. So it will find out the occurrence, the index of the C character. So this particular C string rather. So that's why we are getting this 3 here, because it is index 0, index 1, index 2 and index 3. So now let me check if I have this C for another place. If we have this C for another place, then what will happen? If I go on executing, I'm getting 3 back again, because it will just check the first occurrence of this string C in this particular tuple here. So tuple operations. So here we are having this tuple 6. You can find it. So tuple 6 is there. So now we can go for the print once. So this is the tuple 6. C in tuple 6. C is there. So that's why it is giving me the outcome true. C not in tuple 6, outcome will be false. A in tuple 6, there is no A is here, so it will return false. A not in tuple 6, it will return true here. So it is checking the set membership. Next one is the iteration through tuple elements. So here we have defined one tuple, here we have defined one tuple, and if you go on using this for loop, that is for letters in tuple 6, we are printing these letters. We are getting that for each and every iteration, we are just picking up one element from this tuple members, and it has got assigned to this letters, and letters is getting printed. So now built-in functions with the tuples. So we have defined one tuple, the tuple has got printed, max of the tuple 7, so maximum element from this tuple, so 77 has got printed, minimum of tuple 7. So here we will be having the value 11, then shorted tuple 7, so they will be remaining in the shorted form. The return one is in the term of list. You can find that they are enclosed within square brackets, and len of tuple 7 will give me the count of the elements in the tuple variable. So in this way we have discussed that what are the different operations, what are the different functions are there, inbuilt functions are there, with the help of which we can operate on a tuple, and also the difference between the list and the tuple we have discussed in this session. Thanks for watching this video. A set is an unordered collection of items. That means within the items, within the members of the set, there is no ordering. The elements, the items can be in any order, and every element must be unique. No duplicate elements will be allowed in a set, and must be immutable. That means those elements cannot be updated, cannot be changed. However, the set itself is mutable. That means we can add or remove items from a set. Sets can be used to perform the mathematical set operations like our union, intersection, symmetric difference, etc. So let us discuss how to create one set. Here we have defined one set of integers. In case of set, the elements will be separated by commas and the whole set will be enclosed within curly braces. So if I print it, you can find that the set has been formed. A set may have different type of data. That means elements will be from mixed data types. So here we are having this 101 of the type of integer, Ognivo is of the type of string, and here we are having one tuple. The tuple can be also a set element. So you can find that the respective my set2 has got printed. If we, while defining one set, if I put some duplicate values, then those duplicate values will be eliminated. Only the unique values will be there in the set ultimately. Now in this case, a set cannot have mutable items. Here you can find that we are defining one set where list is as one of the elements, but list is containing mutable items, so this particular set cannot be formed. So if I go on printing, if we try to define one set here, then type error is coming and unhashable type list is the respective error message. So you can find that creation of a set from the list as one of the elements is not possible. So we can make a set, but we can make a set from a list using the method set. So here we are having one list, we are doing one method set here, and then we are going to get one set accordingly. And now if I want to make one list from a set, so set will be enclosed within the curly braces, and here we are using the method list, and then we can get a list from this set here. So you can find that we have got one list here, and here you can find the type of the my list one. So here the class type is list here. Next we are going for operations on a set. So on a set we can perform multiple different operations. So let me go one by one. So at first we are defining this particular set here, having the value 11, 33, 44, 66 and 55. You can see this set of values are there, might be in the different order. So now the set members cannot be accessed using index. So 0 is the index. So if I want to access the my set 1, 0, if I want to access this one, error will be coming, and the type of the name of the error is type error, and set object does not support indexing is the error message. So that means I cannot do this one. That means indexing is not allowed, not getting supported on a set. Okay, now next one is that, so if we go for adding one single item, so we can use the method add. So in that case 77 will be added as one of the elements. But if I want to add multiple items, then you can go for the method update, and here the multiple items are to be enclosed within square brackets. That means it is a list. So list of items can be passed as input argument to the method, that is our update. In that case you can find that 88, 99 and 22, these three values have got added to the set. Now you see we can go for the update. In that case of update, we can add a list, we can add a set. So here you see 103, 104, 105, they are nothing but a set, and 100 and 102, they are nothing but a list. So looking at the brackets enclosed, we can easily find, and then you can find that this particular my set 1 is having those values included and added. Now we are going for the remove and discard. So you can find that in case of remove and discard, so initialize my set. So at first my set 1 has got this set of values and we have printed that one. Now we are going for the discard 4. That means discard an element which is not present, but you can find that no error is coming, no error message is coming, because the discard will handle that error near situation. So my set 1, if I go for my set 1 printing, then I'm getting the same set of items. But if you use the, instead of using the method discard, if you use the method remove, and if you pass an element which is not there in the set, you will be getting one error. So I'm just going to show you that one. So this error is known as the name error. So that is the name my set is not defined here. So let me go for this my set 1, I think. Okay, so now if I go for this, I can find this one, that is a key error. So that means 6 is not present in the respective set, because you can find that 6 is not all present there, but 66 is present. So 66 can be deleted, can be removed. So in case of so one very big difference between this discard and this remove is that in case of discard, if the element whatever we are passing as input argument is not present, it is not producing any error. But in case of remove, it is producing an error, and the name of the error is key error. Now, if you go for the discard 44, if I want to print this my set1, in that case, I can find that this 44 has been deleted. If you go for this remove 55 and 55 is existing, the respective 55 will get deleted from the set. So now here we are going for the method that is the pop, and here we are having one set defined, and now we are going for this my set1.pop method, and then you can find that 33 has been popped out, has been deleted. If you go for another time pop method, the 66 has been deleted. Here these particular values can be selected randomly. So clear my set, in that case the set will be existing, my set1 will be existing, but all its elements will get cleared. So whenever I'm going to print my set1 after issuing this clear method, we can find that the set is existing but no elements are there. Let us go for different set operations. So at first we are going for this union. So we are having my set1, we are having my set2, we have printed those two sets. Now this union can be done using either using the operator filter or using this method dot union. So my set1 dot union my set2. So I have shown that in whatever the way in which we are doing the union, ultimately we are landing to the same result. That means union is taking place. In case of union, the duplicate values will be occurring once. So 4 and 5, they are the duplicate values between these two sets, my set1 and my set2. But they will be occurring once, because set will always a collection of unordered distinct elements. So they will be occurring once ultimately in the union. After union, we're having this intersection. Next one is our intersection. You can find that my set1 and my set2, we are having the set of values there, and if you go for the intersection, then we are landing with this 4 and 5 only. Intersection can be done using the operator ampersand or using my set1 dot intersection my set2. Next one, we are going for the set difference. So in case of set difference, you can use the operator that is a minus, or you can use the method that is intersection. So you can see that only the common elements will be coming out from the intersection. So this is another very important operations on set. So we are finding that 4 and 5 are the common elements in between the set my set1 and my set2. So they are coming out. We are going for the set difference. So here we are having this this my set1 and my set2. So the respective values are there. So now when we are going for this set difference, then my set1 minus my set2, you will be landing with this 1 0 1 2 3 4 and 5 will be discarded, because 4 and 5 they are the common in my set1 and my set2. But if you go for my set2 minus my set1, you'll be getting this one, that is the 8 9 6 7, and 4 and 5 will not be there. And next we can do the same, either using operator minus or using the method difference. So you'll be getting the results accordingly. Now we are going for the symmetric difference. In case of symmetric difference, the common element, in case of symmetric difference, the common elements will not be coming. So now we can, for the symmetric difference, we will be going for this upper caret. So this is a symbol upper caret, so also known as hat. So either you can go for this operator upper caret or symmetric underscore difference. So that is another method name. So here you can see that all the elements are there, but only the common elements which are common, that is the 4 and 5 between my set1 and my set2, they are not coming after doing the symmetric difference between my set1 and my set2. Now we are going for this membership check. So now here we are having one set is defined, that is the my set1, 2 in my set1, that is quite obvious, true, because 2 is one of the elements, one of the members of this my set1. So outcome is true here. So 6 in my set1, 6 is not there, outcome is false. 2 not in my set1, so that is producing the outcome false because 2 is there, and 6 not in my set1, its outcome is true here. Now we are going for this iterating through a set. So for letter in set welcome, print letter. So in this way you can find that for each and every iteration we are picking up one of the characters from the string welcome, and that is getting printed. Now we are having some inbuilt functions with the set. So they are nothing but len, max, min, shorted. So length will denote the number of elements. We can have 6 elements in my set 1. So length is printing, len is printing 6 here, max is printing the maximum element, here it is 5, min is printing the minimum element of the set members, it is printing 0, and the shorted, my set 1 will print the set in the shorted form, and outcome is of the type of list. We're having this frozen set. So Python frozen set is a new class that has the characteristic of a set, but its elements cannot be changed once assigned. So while tuples are immutable lists and frozen sets are immutable sets here. So we cannot do any kind of update and change on this frozen set. So we know that tuples are the immutable lists and frozen sets are immutable sets here. So here we have defined two frozen sets, that is a my set 1 and my set 2. We have defined them, and then we're going to print them. So the values have got printed. You can find that when I'm printing this my set 1, it is getting printed as frozen set, and here we are having the first brackets, then within that we are having this curly braces, that is a set is there. And then we're going for this difference. So dot difference, my set 1 dot difference my set 2. We can get this 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 will be the elements which will be there as the outcome. 3 and 4 will be deleted because 3 and 4 are the common elements between this my set 1 and my set 2. We can go for the union. We're getting this outcome like this. We're going for the intersection. Only the common elements are coming out. So 3 and 4. We can go for the symmetric difference. Only 3 and 4 will get discarded and rest elements will be there in the frozen set. But if I want to do some addition, if I do addition of a new element, so in that case, in case of frozen set, it will produce error, and this error is known as the attribute error. Frozen set object has no attribute add. So that's why this is the respective error we are facing, because a frozen set is nothing but a mutable version of a set here. So in our discussion, we have gone through different operations on sets. We have shown what are the different inbuilt functions, how to define a set, what can be done, what cannot be done, and we have discussed everything with some examples here. Thanks for watching this video.
Python different modules. So let us discuss on it.
We can import our module according to our requirement, and also at the same time we can rename it. That means we can create the alias of the imported module. So here import math module as m. So next time if I want to use this math name as a module name, here instead of that we'll be using m dot. So print the value of pi is m dot pi. Because we have done the renaming of it, we have done the alias of this math as m. So m dot pi will print the respective pi value. Now use of from math import pi. So that is another way to import this pi here. So from math import pi. So in this case there is no need to write math.py. Here you can use directly this pi here in our respective print statement. So if I execute the code, we are getting the output like this one. Next one is import all names from the standard module math. In that case we can go for from math import star. So all the names from the standard module math will get imported, and later you can use this pi for the printing, that is the value of pi is pi here. So in this way, in this particular demonstration, we have shown you that how to import modules and how to use from and how to use this renaming operation while importing our modules. Thanks for watching this video.
Python directory and file management.
To do some operations on the file and directories, we're importing the module that is OS. So we have written import OS. At first, the method we are going to execute is get cwd. That is a current working directory. So it returns the present working directory in which we are now existing. And then we print OS get current working directory in the byte. That means returns the present working directory as a byte object. So let us go for the execution. You can see that. So at first it is telling that we are existing in this particular current directory. So we are in this particular current directory, that is c:\users or now. And now if I want to execute this method, there is a get cwdb, then it is showing me that it is the current working directory, and it will be returned as a byte object. So now let us go for one change directory here. So here you see we are actually in this particular current directory, that is user Ornab. Now from this we are trying to go to the directory that is a file test. So our path will be something like this. So now let us go for the execution here. So c:" users Ornab file test. So that is our change directory. The method is chdir, which will be used to change the current directory, and we are going to insert, we're going to go into this file test folder. So now if I go for this, and then we are going for this list directory, that means all files and subdirectories inside a directory can be known using the list.dir method. So we are executing this. So you see we are getting this list of files. So 3 files on pandas and 1 test.txt. So let us check. Yes, we are having 3 files on pandas and then 1 test.txt. So to get this list, we are using this method, that is the list.dir. Okay, so we have gone for this particular folder. We are now in this particular folder. So now if I print this one, it will print that in which folder we are actually belonging at this moment. So if I execute, we can find that we are in this particular folder right at this moment. Okay, now we shall make a new directory, that is a test. So the method is mkdir, that is make directory, used to make a new directory under the present directory. So the test will be created. So you see there is no existence of any test folder here. So let us go for execution of the same. So we are supposed to get one test folder, and the folder is empty, but the folder has got created. Next we are going for use to rename a directory. So now we are going to use the method, that is a rename, which will rename this test folder to this new one. There is another folder name we are going to give. So now let us go for the execution, and you can find that the test folder has got renamed to the new one here, and the folder is empty. Okay, now removing a file and a directory. So how to remove a file and how to remove one directory. So here you are removing test.txt and new one folder. So the respective methods are remove. Remove will be used to remove one file, and rmdir method will be used to remove our directory here. So let us go for the execution of the same. So we have executed this one. So test.txt and new one, you can find that they are not existing at this moment because we have executed these two codes. So now again we are going to change to our directory. There is a parent one. We went to under this particular file test. Now when you are coming out, so again we are using the method, that is a chdir. So again we shall come back to my c:" users Ornab folder. So in this particular demonstration we have shown you that how to operate with the file, how to delete it, and how to rename one folder, how to create one folder, and so on, and how to see that in which current working directory you are belonging, and other different issues in the proper demonstration. And you see right at this moment we're not having any folder here, not the test.txt, so they have got removed and they have got deleted. Thanks for watching this video.